All right, and we're going. How's it going, everybody? It's Mr. Sutherland here with for also anyway. I guess we're calling this show. I have
Did
my
you just call yourself Mrs. Sutherland?
Mr. Hey. I have my own speech problems. Okay, shush. God.
I ain't here to judge.
Okay, I'm here with my friend Krystle, and I'm gonna. Okay, I know I've seen your last name phonetically. I have. I can't remember how to say it. Please help me because I'm an idiot.
Fiatkovska.
Vietkolska.
It's like a Fiatkovska.
Vietkolska.
Kol. No,
What am I
kol.
not emphasizing?
You're saying coal instead of coal. It's just ko. Ko. Coal.
Okay, so Krystle, last name redacted.
Last name redacted.
I'm trying. I really am. It's hard to pronounce these last names sometimes, and it's like, why?
That's fair.
Please forgive me.
It's fine.
So I'm trying to think how long it's been exactly because you just it's really very recent. Oh God, it's very windy. I hope the power does not go out because we are due for a pretty good storm, and I don't think we're going to lose it. But if this broadcast goes very abrupt, you'll know why. But yeah, we were talking about that. How apparently it's storming across the country.
Oh yeah. Also, hey Red.
There she is. I was wondering when she's going to turn up. But I wanted to know, because you've only been off Twitter for what has it been? Maybe a month, maybe a little more and some change. And it's not your first time, starting, having an account, nuking it, and then starting another one. But you didn't come back, and I don't remember if you said you plan on it, but what's it been like being away from the hell site that is ruled by a bird?
Honestly, it's been amazing. I am having the best time of my life right now in a while.
Nice.
And yeah, you're right. I am. Hey, Madness. But no, you're right. I've actually kind of felt bad on and off because I've needed so many Twitter breaks in my time having Twitter that every time I announced I was taking one, I always felt like, oh my God, everyone's gonna think I'm so annoying. It's like if you're gonna be on it, you kind of need to. But yeah, so I had an account for 4 or 5 years. I can't remember. I've had it for longer, but I didn't start using it until 2016 or something.
Yeah.
I can't do math in my head, so y'all can figure out the math. And then from 2016 on, I was using it regularly. And then in 2018 or 2019?
I think 2019. I feel like it was closer to that.
Yeah, 2019, I decided to just do a whole renewal revamp and just made a whole new account. Ditched the old one, deactivated, deleted and stuff. Because it's I started when I was young. It's
you're I'm a new person. I'm a little older. I'm a little wiser.
I know not to make some cringy mistakes, so I'm just gonna pretend that one didn't happen and just move on. And then I made a new one, and then throughout 2020, I just slowly started having this sinking feeling or having this thought or feeling sinking of feel like maybe I just don't want to be here anymore.
You're I'm off the ride. I'm out.
I'm out.
Very cynical, getting up out of the chair and leaving everything. I get that.
Yeah. Basically, because throughout 2020, so I have a friend in Germany. She takes things time online and stuff very seriously, and she's done a lot of research on it as well as her family, and she's completely ditched all social media except for Discord, which is the one way we keep in contact. But otherwise, she's ditched all of it. Twitter, Instagram, everything. She's ditched it. and she was talking to me and my boyfriend Lucas on and off about, you know, the benefits of limiting it and, you know,
Yeah.
like turning off your phone and stuff like that. And at first I was kind of like, hey, but I'm fine. I know how to handle it. Like, I know how to take a break if I need to. And then as time started going on and I started like slowly implementing everything she was saying, the more as time went on, the more I was realizing, you know,
You're like, she's on to
kind
something.
of has a point. He
Yeah.
kind of has a point. And throughout 2020,
Okay.
I think we can agree 2020 was a shit show.
Oh my god.
And on top of that, I feel like, because I've mentioned this to like Lucas, to Red, and to other people, like throughout 2020, I was hit with this sort of thing of like I was seeing like the worst sides of a bunch of people, including people I knew, where I was like, you know, maybe I should just tap out. And then as we got closer to the end of the year, I was just kind of like, you know, yeah, let me just finally dish it all. And that's my long-winded explanation of me just leaving Twitter.
I wish I had that will of fortitude or whatever to be like, I'm off because I need to, but at the same time, I can't I can't pull myself away. I'm just utterly fascinated seeing how some people come up with stuff. And like a lot of times you're like, okay, that's definitely just a bot. But at the same time, I'm like everything else that's genuine, I'm like, this is so freaking weird.
Yeah. No, like I get moments where I'm like bored and I'm kind of like, you know, I wonder what crazy shit is going down on Twitter. But then I also realize, you know, that's also not necessarily a healthy thing to do.
Yeah. I mean, at least right now, all you're missing is Bernie memes and everyone making fun of Biden voters. So,
yeah.
I think that's freaking hilarious, honestly.
Yeah. And it's, honestly, I did have like several months of just that back and forth of like me thinking about doing it and then talking myself out and then thinking about doing it again and then talking myself out of like, oh, just take a break and then you'll be back. And it's like, no, that's not how it turned out. And honestly, I think the final push for me was when I finally connected to a couple of my last friendships like Manus and stuff on Discord.
Yeah.
And other areas, and I was like, you know, everyone I really care to talk to, I can talk outside of Twitter too. So where's the loss?
Really though,
there's no loss because everyone that I care to keep is off Twitter.
What's Madness saying? Authoritarian, far extreme lefty YouTubers, politicians like Bernie Bros say the dumbest things sometimes.
Yeah.
Everyone's saying it's something stupid. That's for damn sure. But
oh yeah. I've honestly, now that I've left Twitter, I've actually been kind of going back and forth about like my feelings on keeping Instagram, because
you know,
same stuff's happening on Instagram. Everyone's saying.
My wife has said the exact same thing because she's been on Instagram a long time and she literally just uses it to, you know, post a picture once in a while, or she's like, oh, look, a cat video, or hey, look at this horse doing something stupid and fun.
Yeah.
And it's just endless, you know, a bunch of people she follows are all retweeting, or not retweeting, but sharing the same stuff. And she's like, guys, this is my place of cat videos. Please stop.
Yeah, it's because there's so many times where I'm like, okay, I follow this person because like, oh, I like their aesthetic, or this person shares wonderful arts and stuff. But it's like in that sea of like goodness and wholesomeness, like I'll just come across things that are like extreme on either side, and I'm just like, can you not please? Right. I thought this is where we share nice pictures and then we move on.
Oh, the cat's done. Okay. It got what it wanted out of me.
That's cats for you.
Well, I was like, oh, it's probably cold. And I was like, yeah, I'll just hold you and scratch your chin a little bit. And it's like, no! Going away now.
Cats do be like that.
Cats do be like that. Little trash gremlin. But I tried using Instagram for like maybe a month, and I just at the behest of the wife, and I was like, yeah, I'll give it a shot and see if I like it. And I tried it, and I was like, it's okay. I was just like, I don't like how this all works. Make it go away. So
Yeah, no,
I don't
people.
think I even was able to deactivate it the way I want to. It's still there. I was like, that's not what I wanted. Damn it.
Yeah, it's it's I like it for the photography aspect of it, but even
Whoa,
that,
that's not good. Did you see that here, or was
yeah,
that?
yeah, I did see that. I
Oh
did see
shit! I was just kidding. Don't shut off power.
that. Don't do it, please.
Oh god.
Um, but people who I follow even on Instagram have been complaining about the algorithm for ages.
Really?
For age, yeah, yeah, because like a bunch of ads, basically. Like it's been hard to keep up with your feed because like almost every other post is an ad. Yeah, basically.
This is only semi-related to Twitter, but it is more related to ads.
Hmm.
Like, I don't know what YouTube is trying to tell me or trying to ascertain about me, but I don't I don't really partake in conspiracy theories anymore because so much like there's been certain people in my life and that have they send me things and I'm just like, okay, I can't do this. All right. At a certain point, you're making it not be fun anymore. Like I
Yeah,
like I like stuff like, oh, what was going on the grassy knoll or Bigfoot. I'm like, that's fun because it's so far away, it can't really affect my life or anything. And then there's ones I'm like, okay, this is just me getting nervous about the state of the world. But I don't know. YouTube is starting to have ads where it's like for weird streaming sites that they're. I swear to God, one of them was talking about like it's like how the Nazis were trying to come up with flying saucer technology. I'm like, oh God, oh my God. I'm terrified, but also extremely intrigued. What do you have to tell me, crackpot, ancient alien scientist man? Talking
yeah,
about the Anunnaki and like reptilians. Like, oh god, they're really diversifying. They're trying to reach an audience.
yeah. Whenever we get into conspiracy theories dealing with Nazis, no matter what it is, it makes me uncomfortable. That makes me uncomfortable. The whole Holocaust deniers makes me
Oh
uncomfortable.
man, they're terrible. They're
Oh,
so bad.
it makes me literally nauseous,
I
honestly.
know. Like, oh my god. Imagine trying to deny such a thing. I mean, Jesus. I like
I
you first.
I not to go too much off the path, but did you
That's
see
full stream. You can go off the path if you any way you want. It's fine.
did you see recently that apparently Benjamin started going down that path?
Yeah, that makes me sad.
And I'm just like, what the like because there was like a screenshot of something he
Yeah,
posted on Instagram about like how the diary and Frank is fake and like some of the contents in it, and I'm like, first of all, some of the stuff you claim was in there actually isn't in there. Second of all, what it's supposed to be a diary?
he's been going down that path for quite a while. I think hasn't he? Like, oh, at least over a year, if I remember right.
That's what I've heard, but I'm just like,
It
what
makes
are
me
you talking about, dude?
it makes me really sad to see that he's gone that way because I remember when I used to watch a lot of Loud Earth Crowder,
Mm-hmm.
and when I was like kind of figuring out where I was at politically, I guess.
Yeah.
I was on there quite a bit, and I was like, "Oh, this guy seems funny enough." I never really watched stand up, but he seemed like an okay guy. And then I don't know what happened between like I think him getting banned off Twitter or whatever the hell, and then that, and I'm like, "What in the hell was this like interlude period going on?" Oh God.
Neither do I. I just remember being so baffled when I saw it. Because
Yeah.
like I was wary anyway when I saw like the claims of like the path went down, and then I saw the screenshot and I was like, oh,
You're like, "Oh God, he's going off the deep end."
oh, he did. He did go. He went down that road. He
Sometimes he do be like that, apparently.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Real quick, I just wanted to see the chats. Red said, I've even cut back on Twitter, which is
No,
always
that's bullshit. I see you on there every day. Yelling at someone.
probably yelling at you, honestly.
Probably, yes.
And Madness, I haven't been on it for months besides the M's and 2 threads.
That's fair. That's a good policy.
Yeah.
You have people like, okay, let's see what Madness just said. You have people like Ilan, Sarsour, and Talib who deny what Muslims did during World War II. Muslims caught Jewish people who escaped Nazi Germany and sent them back to the socialists. Ugh.
I've heard that. I can't really comment on it though because I haven't really researched it myself, and so I feel I couldn't really.
I can see it. I haven't studied it enough to know either. So I'm not gonna be like, yeah, but at deep down I'm like, okay, sounds fair. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Why is it okay? This is something maybe it's just me, but do you find it easy to like go? So I would love to play like the newer Wolfenstein games, but I can't make myself want to because once it starts getting the Nazis invade America, I'm like, no, that's not how that works. I don't care what you say. I can't even watch like The Man in the High Castle and just go along with it because I'm like, that's not how we roll. Someone tries to invade us, we kill them.
Yeah.
And someone's like, and I'm like, I know it's Wolfenstein. They have giant Nazi mecha robots, but I'm still like, rednecks would attack that thing and kill it. Like, does that? Do you have something that's like a gap for you on that too, or is it just because I'm thinking about it?
I'm hit or miss when things go into like Nazi territory, mainly because I always find people either just don't understand what the heck they're talking about. Like, for example, like I could see like a story where like, okay, say like Nazi Germany did move into America, but it's like certain things would need to happen historically for that to be achieved, and the story just doesn't cover that.
Yeah.
Or another thing that kind of annoys me that also Supernatural did is always the whole going back to kill Hitler. It's like, oh my god, it's such a cheap. To me, it feels cheap.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I mean, I also just generally don't care for revenge plots like that. Like, I read a book last year that's basically had a abuse victim gain like revenge against her abusers. Which on the one hand, like I get it, but on the other hand, I was like, the whole ending was too revenge porn for my taste. I don't like. It's not my speed. The one like Nazi thing that has me kind of curious, but I've never actually sat down to watch the show. I just know the plot lines in it and my favorite actresses in it. Is the new spinoff? Is it the spinoff of the Penny Dreadful series that Natalie Dormer, she plays this angel of death.
Oh.
And, yeah. So basically, I love her as an actress. She's so talented, but basically the setup of that series is that we have the I don't know, I think they call her in this, they might call her a different name, but basically a figure like Santa Muerte, and then Natalie Dormer and Angel of Death, and like they're like they're beings of like the different sides of the coin. Like Santa Muerte is more so like the loving side and hopeful of like humanity, and Natalie Dormer's character is more so like, no, I'm going to show you just how awful humanity is. And basically throughout the series, she becomes different kinds of people, and sort of brings out the worst sides of people. Okay. For example, one of the things I've seen which ties into the whole Nazi thing is that she is like, this like petite, blonde, blue-eyed, like woman who's like being abused by her husband, but she comes into contact with this doctor who's secretly a Nazi. Okay. And over time she gains his trust and reveals that she herself is a Nazi, and sort of like building up like support of Nazism in America, and like other like basically her character goes around and like builds up these racial tensions like between the whites and the Latino community, Nazism, stuff like that. That's like one of the few I actually found kind of interests me because it's like an angel of darkness, like trying to like bring out the worst of humanity, and so you sort of see like if the main character's like fighting against him, like what happens and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I can finally show myself. I was wondering if it was going to happen. But, what was I supposed to say? Okay, hold on. Well, no, it's not here. It's going to get worse. Ah! I can't stop hearing it. I back up. Stop. Nope. Do you have headphones?
Oh, headphones?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'm getting an echo now. I was like, oh, we were doing pretty well first, unless it just stopped.
Hello. Testing.
Hello?
1, 2, 3.
Nothing. I think we're good.
Okay.
One thing we'll talk about more about this later because I'm still reading it, but like in this, I mostly just because of the Nazi stuff. I think it's hilarious how, like, even in the game when I played it, he kind of lampshades this, and he's like, even in the end of the apocalypse, we didn't stop killing each other over ideology, and like in the metro system, there's a faction of communists, and then there's a faction of Russian Nazis, and I'm like, oh, all right, that's weird, but I'm mostly just over here thinking to myself, like, I was thinking about, I was like, is there like a sizable enough faction of Nazis in modern day Moscow that if the world ended today, a lot of them would find themselves in the metro system and survive, I guess? I was like, I feel like Nazis and Russians don't really get along. They probably just curb stomp each other.
Yeah, that would be more so like a thing, probably like more so set in Germany, because my friend who lives there, she said that there's unfortunately a really big growing rise in support for it again. But
Germany?
I don't know. I don't know, man. You're asking me? I don't know. But that's a whole separate conversation. But since we're talking about Nazi storylines, I kind of wish Lucas was here so he could explain it. He started reading this book. He hasn't finished it yet, but you know what? I'll quickly grab it because you'll get a kick out of the cover. I think everyone.
Oh God, I'm excited now. I must see it.
Okay.
Look at that little line on the bed. That's adorable.
Thanks. So it's called Guess Who's Back? Or Look Who's Back.
That's pretty awesome. What's it about?
And basically it's set in 2011, and it's basically what if Hitler came back to life? And the story follows how it's sort of it's slightly a farce or a comedy as well.
Okay.
But it's also a commentary on some societal things. But basically, you follow Hitler as he returns to modern day. And at first, it's quite comical because he's acting so much like Hitler that everyone thinks he's acting or an actor. Like, there's one interaction where one dude's like, dude, I love you. I'm going to get you an acting job. I'm going to help you, man. You're fantastic. Wonderful. But throughout the story, you see how people sort of react. So I think he gets a job at the newspaper, and he, basically slowly starts introducing his ideas again. And basically, and basically, you get people who aren't for it. You get people who don't think he's serious, and then you get people who actually agree with him. And,
tell me more.
Yeah, okay. And I think the thing that he and a friend said that was the most interesting was at one point he has an assistant who is a Jewish woman, and he's actually quite fond of her, and it isn't until like later on, far later on into the book, that he finds out she's Jewish.
Oh shit!
But what the author does is he writes Hitler not knowing how to coincide knowing she's Jewish and what his ideals. So then he starts like defending liking her against his own. So like he starts being like, oh well, she's not a real Jewish person. She's different and things like that. But it's fascinating because you see both him and people on the other side, find excuses for like sort of like either ignoring or just like being like giving people giving each other passes for the thoughts. Like on his side, he's like, oh, she's not a real Jewish woman. She's not real. It's not real. And I think he or someone else said on her side, she kind of like passes off too because he treats her well. So it's sort of that sort of commentary.
I'm sold. I'll have to look into this and read it because that sounds hilarious.
Yeah. Don't watch the movie because the movie makes the point of the book far too on the nose. This one's more of a subtle like commentary exploration of things.
Good to know. I'll keep this in mind. I'm getting fatigued over here with my reading material. God.
Oh boy.
I was really fascinated because I was like, I've tried. Maybe I don't think I was in the right mindset because I tried playing the game, the first one, a little bit a few years ago, and I don't know. I just didn't come back to it because I was like mentally there for it. But the world's on fire now, so it's like screw it. May as well prepare for the end of the world. Anyway, but then I was like, I need to read it too. I think just because I was like, I feel like. There's the classics that come out of Russia and everything, but I've never, as far as something contemporary that came out, I was like, let's see what our brothers over in the East are doing. And then I was like, let's read this. And I was like, oh, God, make it end. At first, I thought it was kind of cool because I was like, okay, this is the first couple chapters. He's got to establish some stuff. We got to know what's going on in this world. But then I was like, oh, God, just shut the fuck up and give me free. Mr. Glukovsky, you can make things Lasonic at any time. I'm over here thinking, okay, we're just about, towards the end of the book. Where are the Dark Ones going to come back into this? Good God! They always talked about, they're the dreaded, and I'm kind of worried that they're not going to be there. But, and I knew I was going to have to read the other two books, so I already bought them.
Oh no! Oh no! What have you done to yourself?
It's only two. It's only two more books. So I have that going for me, but I'm definitely going to cut it out.
It's still 2 books, though.
I know.
That are how long?
The second one is about. The second one's maybe a third shorter than this, maybe a little more. But the last one is like this, and maybe a little bit more. I'm like, okay, that's manageable. I can put myself in that much pain. I watched movies that felt longer than that. I'm trying to think of when I watched a movie and I was like, make it end, and it was probably Gone Girl. That movie pissed me off.
For me, it was Mary, Queen of Scots. Actually, I think the movie Lucas and I most recently could not just finish was Snowpiercer.
Oh God, I hated that book. It pissed me off so hard.
It is an awful movie. It makes no sense. It
looks like an awful movie. I think the book might have been worse because it was, I don't know, maybe it was just as on the nose in the movie, but it was that whole oh, you rich people live at the front of the train and us poor people, I'm like, you're on a fucking train in the apocalypse. You're welcome for not freezing to death.
I for us, it was the fact that all these weird things were happening with no sort of explanation provided. And it was just such a confusing movie. And now it's getting a TV show?
I'm with Madness. Yeah. Captain Marvel pissed me off too, Madness. I have a whole video about it.
I have no doubt.
Oh God.
The other one that we couldn't finish, I need to double check the title. Arte Shush phone. Hotel Artemis is another one that Lucas and I could just not finish.
Really?
Yeah, it was just
Dang it! I was kind of curious about that one. All right.
like Lucas noped out of it like almost right at the beginning. Right at the beginning because it just felt like it was trying so hard. And if you're interested in a movie like that, instead we would recommend Bad Times at the El Royale.
Okay.
That's actually an amazing movie.
It's
got such a noir feeling to it.
Nice. I wanted the nope out of Solo, but I couldn't because I was like, okay, I'm obligated to finish this one, but I'm gonna be mad about it the entire time. Like, I don't know what. There's some things are untouchable. You know what I mean? Like when I found out that Panic at the Disco did a cover of Bohemian Rhapsody for Suicide Squad, I was actually very angry about it. And I didn't even hear it yet. And then when I did, I was like, Brendan Urie, I'm going to kick you in the teeth if I see you at any point in my life.
I mean, to be fair, he didn't decide it. It was the movie people that did it.
Okay, I'm going to kick them in the teeth instead. Damn you, David Ayer! But when I watched Solo, I was like, it's nothing against you, guy, but you're not Han Solo. Harrison Ford is. But there's something about taking what is arguably one of the coolest characters you can think of in movies, sci-fi in particular, and make them less cool by making you go trying to communicate with Chewie. It's like, okay, Chewbacca understands English. Why are you trying to speak his language? The inverse should be happening right now.
Yeah.
Oh God.
It kind of reminds me of because I've been rewatching some of the reviews, like the Red Letter Media reviews of Picard.
Oh, I need to watch more Star Trek. God damn.
I'm just saying, if you listen, Picard is far worse than you could think the
Star Trek
Next Generation is.
Hey, as far as I can tell, anything Gene Roddenberry, I'm going to have some issues with. But everything I've heard about Picard, I'm like, oh, there's nothing redeemable about this, is there?
No, and
like making sequels 30 years after the fact is a bad idea.
And also the writers didn't really understand what Star Trek was or is about, because for example, one of the things that Red Letter Media touched on is that the Picard series acts like Picard and Data were just the best of friends, even though Picard was actually closest to Dr. Crusher.
Okay.
And actually, if you look back at the series, Data actually spends more time personally with all the other crew members than he does Picard.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I want to like Star Trek more. I really, really do. It's just, I don't know how to. Was that?
You have to take into account what Lucas said, who loves Star Trek. You have to skip to the third season, which, I mean, I don't even agree with Lucas on that. I didn't hate the first two seasons, honestly.
It's just, every time I've tried to really watch it, it's never really grabbed me, you know what I mean? Like, even recently with Star Wars, I was like, the only reason I really liked any of them is because of nostalgia more than anything. As far as movies go, I was like, they're fine. I'm not going to act like they're the worst thing in the world, or anything. They're the best or worst thing in the world, or anything like that. But when I'm watching Empire Strikes Back, I'm like, all right, there's some pretty badass moments here, but I can't make myself be like, this is the greatest thing ever. I'm like, all right, it's a movie. It's bearable.
How far into Star Trek Next Generation are you?
Not far. I'm still like somewhere in the middle of season 1, I think.
Okay, I feel like
That's what I watched.
if I remember correctly,
Ow.
yeah, okay. I feel like you'll start having an easier time in season 2 just because of one thing that's in the show that I think you would be fascinated by.
Okay.
If you don't mind spoilers. I mean, I won't reveal like the actual like.
No need to spoil. I'll get there when I get there. It's just gonna be a while.
Well, what I mean is, if you don't mind hearing about a race of people you're going to encounter, not like the actual storyline.
I'll hold off. I want to be surprised when I get there.
Okay, but okay. I'm trying to think of like a vague way to like express how you'll be interested.
Oh God.
Okay, I'll say one word, or no, I'll say 2 words.
Okay.
Superior hive mind.
Ooh. Oh, it's the Borg. God damn it. I should have known that one.
Oh, so you do know about the Borg.
I was thinking of something else, and I was like, "Is it superior hive?" My brain went to bugs first because that's where I think when I think of a hive mind, but I forgot about the Borg. So yeah,
That's fair.
Madness Cobra Kai is awesome. I love it. I need to actually continue. I'll probably if I don't watch some more tonight, I'll definitely watch more tomorrow. I've been on a Frasier kick because I was like, "Oh, Amazon has it. I needed this in my life." I love that show. Oh God. Okay, we were gonna talk about dead TV shows and like tell me yours so maybe it'll jar some of the mind loose because I can only think of 2 of them.
Well, we already agreed on Constantine, so the other one I was thinking of, which I only was able to come up with 2 as well, which is Containment.
I don't know.
It was a CW series, but it was back when CW wasn't fully off the cliff.
Okay.
Basically, it's about an outbreak. Okay. Basically, there's a outbreak in Atlanta. They believe in the beginning they believe it's part of a terrorist attack, like a bio terrorist attack. So
yeah.
One thing leads to another, and they end up like putting the entire part of Atlanta into quarantine.
Oh.
No one in and no one out, and basically, the series follows the fallout of that.
Okay.
And it was actually a really good show, and it only had 1 season, which is a shame because it ended on them like finally having hope of solving everything, and that's what it ends on. The hope of it solving everything, not it actually solving everything.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah. And it got canceled. 1 season. And
that's probably yeah. That's about how I feel with Pushing Daisies.
Yeah. I really liked that show. I felt like it got a little too weird for my taste at the end. But I'm still sad.
I remember being a kid, like, a kid. I was like 12 or 13 at this point. And when it came on, I was enthralled, right? And I just one day it was on and then it was gone. And I was like, what the fuck? Where'd it go? I remember being like, I think we actually went to Disneyland that year. And I remember seeing a big ass poster for it. And I was like, that's a good show. But I never finished it until like years after the fact because I was like, oh, I guess I can buy the first 2 seasons. I wish they would bring it back. But I don't even know if that's possible at this point. Like with the same.
I know there was talks of it, but I don't think it fully went through. I think I loved the first season. By the end of like season 2, I think it was starting to get a bit weird for my taste. But the show was honestly a surprise gem for me because I'm usually not into quirky shows like that.
It was such a good I like how they described it because I was like, I have to watch the featurettes. Maybe that'll make me feel like there's more. But they were talking about how it was supposed to be sort of like a modern fairy tale, and I was like, yeah,
I can see that too. Yeah,
sense actually. Well done, Brian Fuller. Where's the
Brian Fuller's good. I just can't watch Hannibal.
I never watched it either. Like, I almost want to because apparently that and Pushing Daisies are officially in the same universe, and I'm like, okay. I know.
Okay,
Fucks with the brain.
Brian Fuller went too far there. He went too far. You cannot tell me that some of the stuff that happens in Hannibal is in the same. You just cannot tell me.
It's weird. I know. I don't know how that works either. Okay, Madness says Legends is awesome, and it's a continuation of Constantine. Okay, that's fair. The Next Mutation ended too soon. The Boys season 1 is awesome. You stop, man. Especially compare it to the comic. You see, that's the thing, Madness. I actually think the show is a more cohesive plot than the comics. And I read through it twice because I was like, let me ask you this. Do you have an author that whenever you read, like, you can't tell if you love it or love their stuff or hate it, but you can't keep yourself from not reading their stuff? Because Garth Ennis is definitely that for me. And I read Preacher, I read The Boys, I read his run on The Punisher, and there's a bunch of other stuff I'm going to read by him.
Honestly, no. Because... Oh, no. Oh, no. Did we lose him? Oh, no. Did we... I think we lost Sutherland. Okay. But to answer Sutherland's question until he comes back, and I repeat it, not really, because for the most part...
Oh, there we go.
Oh my God. Okay.
Anyway.
Thank goodness. I don't have to repeat myself. Okay. So here's my answer.
Yes.
Not really, because when it comes to books and TV shows and movies, I either love it or hate it. I usually have very strong opinions. It's very rare I have like a neutral opinion, but I, for the most part, feel very, very strongly about the books I read.
Yeah.
And if I love it, I will sing its praises. If I hate it, I will not stop talking about how I hate it.
I feel that as someone who shot a half-hour video about Dark Fate and just had to. I feel.
I could do a whole rant on The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue.
Oh God.
Anytime. Any moment someone brings it up to me, I could easily rant about it. Easily.
Well, actually, I can't say that entirely. She got better, but like Karen Traviss, at least one trilogy of Halo novels that she had a personal hand in. There's some things, and I might just have to reread it to be extra sure. There are some things that are kind of screwy about it. But it was well written anyway, but it was inconsistent with some of the lore. But besides Aspho Fields, which everyone agrees in the Gears of War community is just a fucking terrible book, the rest of them that she's done were actually pretty well written. But I know she's got some animosity drawn her away for good reason.
Yeah. I'm honestly surprised that V.E. Schwab doesn't have more animosity considering what she wrote in The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, but like, oh my God, dude. Like, you don't even understand.
It's that bad, huh?
I'm assuming, do you care about spoilers or not?
Not really.
She literally has almost any great historical person you could think of have it like revealed that they were able to do that because they sold their soul. Ooh. Literally, including Joan of Arc. Yeah.
Oh, it hurts.
And what made it worse is that she went out of her way to make Joan of Arc look bad. Like, she literally went out of her way. Because there's a scene where the main character's like, so what's the weirdest deal you had? Because she's talking to the devil that she made a deal with. And he's like, oh, Joan of Arc. And then, like, he goes into a thing about how, like, oh, he disguised himself as an angel. And I'm like, I mean, I don't like it, but, like, if you tricked her, okay. But then after that, he goes out of his way to say, but I think deep down she knew who I was. Ma'am, no.
If I push on my face any harder, I'm gonna break my skull and shove my eye into my cortex.
And it's like, what was the reason for it? Was it to save her country? Was it to do anything great? No, she just wanted fame.
Pain.
Yeah, I literally chucked the book. I chucked the book. And then I skimmed the rest of it just to say I finished the damn thing.
I'm trying to think of another book that just kind of pissed me off, but thankfully I haven't had any problems like that lately, besides this kind of getting on my nerves with just the verboseness of it.
And honestly, each time while reading that book, anytime I thought this could not get worse, it got worse. Because, see, I thought the worst bit I was going to have to read was when she wrote, "You've seen Beethoven's soul ripped out of him to kill him." But no, that was not the worst. And I don't understand how not more people are talking about it or criticizing it for it.
Well, I certainly feel better about my own stuff if and when I finally get published, because I can't be that bad.
You can't be so bad that you literally insulted Joan of Arc. You can't.
I can't. I really can't. Oh God, madness! Why? I have read Goddess Mode comics written by Zoe Quinn. Oh, it is bad, but I read all the way through. Ooh. I have no idea what's happening. Do I need to be nerdy? You can just enjoy the soft warbling noises of our voice, Red. It's okay.
Yeah, just enjoy our pain and understand that things are bad.
So like, just going back to Garth Ennis for the internet connection was acting funny, right? When Garth Ennis is good, he is really, really good. Like, I think one of my favorite things about The Boys in particular is that the main character, Huey, like, it's kind of a deconstruction of, like, you know, being that ass-kicking hero and everything, because, like, everyone around him is so screwed up that it's very clear what they're doing is not good, but it's for good reasons, but they're not inherently good people, except maybe in small ways. And Huey is just a guy who kind of got brought into this for revenge, but he's realizing he's like, the revenge isn't going to make my life any better. My entire life is going to be terrible from this, or at least worse off because I've experienced it. And he's a bit of a whiner. He really is. But the thing of it is that it's not so much whining all the time as him being like introspective about stuff. So by the end of the series, because he's been so introspective about everything he's done and how he's tried to remain a good person, it has kept him from being this terrible human being. And he actually comes out being like, you know, a lot more, like a better person in general for it. Even if he's done some terrible stuff. And I was like, that's fucking awesome. Cool. Thank you, Garth. This is great. But then there's so much about the book itself that doesn't make enough sense, right?
Yeah.
Because it's okay. Garth Ennis doesn't like superheroes. Constantly has an axe to grind to get about them. Is not a very charitable person with the other side. There's times where he can be, and he can at least be semi-respectful. Like, he's not going to start bagging on Superman, because without him, he doesn't have a job, really.
Yeah.
But he goes out of his way to make superheroes look pointless in the comic. It's like, oh, cool, this guy can fly around and shoot laser beams out of his eyes. What do we do with him? Who knows? He's a mascot now. Or
Yeah.
this thing. The voice comics either show the other teams as well. Heck, they are important as well. The X-Men knockoff saga was awesome. That was pretty hilarious. But case in point, Garth Ennis hates Wolverine with a fiery passion. So the guy he makes to make fun of Wolverine is just a blithering idiot who has hammers for hands and can't even fucking beat himself properly. It's weird. It really is, but there's some funny stuff in it.
Dang.
Like, everyone is so unremittingly evil that you can't help but laugh, but at the same time, you're like, I don't care about anything that's happening right now.
Yeah.
And I think the show has helped a lot about that.
Have you ever read a book that was just completely dysfunctional?
Oof. Completely dysfunctional. I got to think about that for a minute.
Because like one of my last reads of last year, it was so dysfunctional. I do not understand how it was ever published.
I don't think I have, actually. Like, nothing's coming to mind right now. No.
You are lucky.
I'm doing a lot more reading now, so maybe I'll get there faster. But so far, everything that I've been reading has been fairly cohesive. Like a lot of like Cormac McCarthy, very simple. Elmore Leonard, very simple.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, no, never mind. That doesn't count. I'm not a huge manga reader, but I found one by accident that I was like, this sounds like it's kind of funny because it's called I Am a Hero, and it's just a manga artist in Japan, and the zombie apocalypse happens, and what sold me was what the blurb on the back said. But he has one thing that not everybody in his home country possesses: an actual firearm. I was like, oh, that's fucking funny. It's just like, yeah, I have questions about how he got the firearm in particular. It's just a double-barrel shotgun, but I'm like, okay, like he's a very polite person, but he's definitely he should definitely be on some kind of antipsychotic because he sees hallucinations fairly regularly. But he's so innocent. Like, he doesn't quite know what's going on. He thinks that laws still apply. His girlfriend, who gets zombified at one point, spoilers, is trying to eat him. And hey, self-defense, he kills her, but he leaves a note when he leaves because he's trying to figure out what's going on elsewhere. And he's like, I killed her. I will turn myself in. This is my contact information. This is my address. I'm like, oh, honey. Good day, buddy. You don't know that society's upside down now, don't you?
Oh, what?
It's so wholesome, but at the same time, like, oh, god dang it.
If I was the cop that arrived on the scene and I read that note, I'd be like, I don't know what to do with this.
I would just call him up, be like, okay, was she a zombie? Yes? Okay, we're good, dude.
We're good. It's fine. Everything's fine.
It makes me think of, it brings me back to, do you watch Ross Scott of Accursed Farms at all?
Mm-mm.
Oh, he's hilarious. He did Freeman's Mind on YouTube for the longest time. And he also does Ross's Game Dungeon. And he was talking about a zombie game and how he likes how the concept of zombie anything turns society upside down on its head. And he was just like, oh, you don't have to go to work today. There's zombies outside. You don't have to do your taxes. There's zombies outside. You don't have to take shit from anyone or obey laws. There's zombies
outside.
Oh, but I was just like, I like that mindset. You might actually appreciate this because I don't know why he's there, but because he's from Virginia. But a few years ago, he moved to Poland, of all places.
Yes.
Yes. And I was like, all right, cool, man. I think he's been there for like, oh God, I'm trying to think of when he was there. So when he was doing Freeman's Mind, he actually talked about getting a solid state drive to do Freeman's Mind better. And the problem is that where he was like, here's the thing, I'm in Poland, and I think that might have been, oh God, I need to look it up now, actually. I think that might have been almost 10 years ago. Jesus. Make Freeman's Mind better. That's, oh, Make Freeman's Mind HD. That makes, okay, 6 years ago. Huh. I was going to say, I'm old. Oh God. We got away from it on the canceled TV shows thing, though. Like,
Yeah. Okay. Let's swing it back.
I mean, we were already pretty much agreed on Constantine, so there's that.
That was such a good show. I don't know. I don't understand why it got canceled. It was so good.
I didn't realize that part, man. Ooh, God. Oops.
Yeah, that is pretty icky. But
I don't know if I saw that part. Ugh.
That's probably because though that's the age of consent in Japan is.
Yeah, that's fair.
It is. Don't get me wrong. It's still icky.
It's still weird. Yeah, but
it's still very uncomfortable.
It's
still very uncomfortable.
I don't get. I think about the
so
UK.
Anyway,
think about the UK and how the age consent is 16. I'm like, why?
Yeah,
That's creepy.
So cancel TV shows.
Cancel TV shows. Why did Constantine get canceled? It just didn't have viewership?
Which I'm so baffled by because of the number of people that were like, return the show.
I just like that guy. I like the guy who plays him. I was like, I believe it. I've only read like one volume of Hellblazer, but I buy it. I'm like, that's Constantine. Good for you, Ryan.
And the thing is, it was a really good show too because the writers actually like did their research with like the supernatural things, which most shows don't really do that much of. Because I was reading an article or like a blog post someone did, and they were analyzing the way Constantine handles it versus how like other shows handle it. And like one show, they just like they slapped on like a stereotypical like symbol of like of whatever, and they're like, ooh, dark magic, it's bad witches. But it's like in Constantine, when they handled the same issue of dark magic, they used like legitimate things that are tied to dark magic.
That's hardcore. I like that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Does Supernatural do the same thing?
They're better about it than most shows.
Okay. I'm just thinking about the Tulpa episode. Like, I'm like, okay, maybe they made that one up, but I don't know.
Oh, the Tulpa.
The Tulpa! God dang. How did you finish it?
Oh, real quick, I have to make my joke. Speaking of shows that were canceled too soon, Supernatural.
Too soon!
Totally canceled too soon. Totally.
I always wondered, like, I always was like, how are they going to finish this? Good God. But.
Right?
I like how they ended it. I really do.
I'm behind on on like the last two seasons, I think.
Okay.
I saw what basically is the farewell episode, which is like the final episode, but it's not the final episode.
Yeah.
Which I thought it was like pros and cons, but I still cry like a baby watching it.
No, my wife was pretty much weeping, and I was like, "Oh, honey." Was that?
It was.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it.
It was just. It ended well. It really did.
The farewell episode was really good. I will say though that they probably should have ended it sooner.
Oh, like the thing that always pissed me off the most about it, I think, as far as a season, was the Leviathans, because I was like, man, that could have been so much cooler.
You know,
And again, and then it was just some weird like big business, like whatever. I don't know. I was looking for Lovecraftian shit, not big pharma.
A while ago I tried doing like a whole rewatch
Oof.
of Supernatural,
Ugh.
and I when I got to season 8, I fell off with the rewatch, and I haven't picked it back up since because I was just like, I'm so bored. I'm bored by this season with like Purgatory, and it's like I feel like they act so out of character too. With like, first of all, Sam not trying to get Dean back. Second of all, Dean being mad that Sam didn't try to get him back when Dean was all like, "Sammy, don't go trying to look for me." Don't.
Right.
Like, you literally. So it's like that one. I fully
there's definitely like some inconsistencies going on. Well, now that you say that, I actually hadn't thought of it, but yeah,
season 8 was awful. It was so boring.
There's always got to be some bad episodes in seasons, and I guess they chose the ones that they wanted, and I was like, all right, I feel like everything else worked out fairly well, even if it went on for too damn long. Like,
yeah.
Hey.
Honestly, part of me is kind of surprised they actually ended it at 15 seasons, because I remember watching an interview with like Misha Collins and I think one of the other actors, and they said that like the higher up of CW, like the CEO, said they wanted to push for 20 seasons.
Really?
Yeah, they wanted to push for a full 20 seasons, and I'm just like, I mean, I love Supernatural, but at
a certain point,
the longer you go, the more you're gonna
like I was, because at that point I'm thinking to myself, so at that point, if it's 20 seasons, like Sam and Dean are just gonna fight themselves. That's what I'm getting.
Right?
Like, they've literally gone against everything else in the universe, so they're just gonna beat each other up for like 5 more seasons.
Yeah.
I'm still editing it, but I'm doing a video talking about my 2 favorite episodes, and not like super in depth, but still talking about them, because I'm like, this is why I love these things, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be so hard to pick like my favorite episodes, though. I will say most of my favorites are like from seasons 1 through 5.
Yeah,
that's like
really,
that's peak Supernatural.
It is. That's the good stuff.
Sometimes I almost feel like they should have just ended it at 5, like Eric Kripke originally planned.
Yeah,
but
there were still some funny episodes and some good episodes like beyond that. Like the French Mistake was freaking hilarious.
Wait, which one?
The French Mistake.
Oh my god! Wait, was that past season 5?
That was season 6.
Oh my god, I love that episode.
That was a great episode. It was so freaking funny.
I love that episode. I'm blanking on some other ones that are just after season 5, but I loved the musical Scooby Natural.
There you go.
That episode was better than it had any right to be.
Okay, hold on. Where's that? So, because my wife is a Supernatural fan, I actually meant to give this to her at Christmas, but I forgot I hit it so well. Ooh. But
oh my gosh, that's amazing. I love that.
And she loves mugs, so this is perfect for her.
Oh my gosh. The Scooby Natural episode was far better than it had any right to be.
I love how Daphne was the one afraid of going to hell. I was like, dude, Daph, what did you do?
Daphne.
Yeah, seriously.
I don't know how they pulled it off. It should not have been that good. It should not have been that good. But then it was amazing.
You just know that Jensen and Jared love the characters, and they're like, we're gonna need Scooby-Doo? Fuck yeah.
I love how leading up to the episode it's the episode where Dean has that thing that's making him slowly forget everything, like his name, his family, and whatnot. And like in the hotel or in the motel room, he's just watching Scooby Doo to try and ease the pain.
Yes, everything. That was such a good episode. Oh my god.
That one was that was a good episode.
It was so emotional, but then like he opens up the trunk of the car and it says "No" on a grenade launcher, and you're like, same show. Okay.
The season with Cain, the Mark of Cain, and that was such a good season.
I was so sad that I think I've always liked Timothy Omundson.
Oh yeah.
And I was so from watching Psych for so long and be like, Carlton Lassiter, he's the guy. But seeing him in Supernatural as Cain, that first episode, I was like, oh, that's a great pick. I freaking love it. And then when he came for the second episode, I was like, man, I want to see more. Then the second episode ends and he's dead. And I was like, no, I need more of this because he's awesome.
Oh my gosh, yeah, he was. See, when Supernatural is good, it's really good.
So good.
And then when it's not good, it's really not good.
Yeah. Like that really weird the found footage episode with the werewolves. I was like, all right, I guess they had to go there, but whatever.
Wait, which one?
I think it might have been like season 10 or 12 or something like that. It was up there, but it was found footage, and it was just this guy, a couple of people turning into werewolves, and then, at the end it's only the one chick, and she pieced together all the footage for Sam and Dean because she's like,
oh,
yeah, not great, but they tried.
I'm trying to remember. I remember disliking both like backdoor pilots that the show.
Yeah, I forgot. I didn't realize at the time those were backdoor pilots. So when I watched them, I was like, these are weird. All right, cool, something different. I didn't realize that like one of them was for a spinoff about like creatures living in Chicago, but
which is like a really weird show to try to spin off from Supernatural of all things.
Right?
The all-female one, we were. On one hand, I didn't care for it, but at the same time, it makes sense because people love Jodie, and I forget her name, but the cop from Denver,
Donna.
Like people love them. I think some people like Cass's like daughter, but I don't really care for her. I think she's annoying, but.
It kind of is, but that's a teenage girl for you, I guess.
Yeah, but it's like I didn't really care for it, but at the same time, it makes sense for a backdoor pilot, like a spinoff. Yeah. But the Bloodline, I don't. That could have been its own thing from the get-go. It didn't have to like be spinned off from Supernatural.
Yeah. Oh my god. I'm trying to think what else there was after season 5. What are those like good episodes? Okay, Madness says, I wish the show did more with alternate universes. See, I don't. I was kind of okay with what we got. I was like, okay, Apocalypse World is interesting. I'm okay with seeing that one. I didn't
like the Wizard of Oz one.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
I'm torn between liking and hating the whole "I killed Hitler" from Dean. On the one hand, I'm like,
it's in character for him, so I'll give it a pass. Yeah. But it's like, okay, we get it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Let's see. They should do a European Supernatural where they go through different European countries, and yeah, I could see that. That'd be interesting. That's why I like about Supernatural. I'm like, it takes place in America, and everyone brings their baggage with them. It's beautiful.
Okay, I will say a series like that I love, but I should also say I hated when Sam and Dean's mom came back. I hated her character so much.
That was weird. I don't know why that
It
happened.
was so weird. Why did you have to do this whole thing of like, I don't know how to be a mom. I only know how to be a hunter. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What did you do to this character?
Right?
Why can't she be a good mom and a good hunter?
Seriously.
And also her sleeping with the Men of Letters guy from Britain?
Yeah.
What the heck?
That's yeah. Nope.
I
I got so like just like wait, what the hell? Because I saw him like an Allstate commercial. I was like, wait a minute here.
God, I really hated the British Men of Letters, but then again, I hate any show that does a whole secret organization you didn't know existed.
I wanna try and like include in like some at least one or two things I write. Like if there is some kind of secret organization, like the people who run it, they don't realize it started off as like a sex orgy club or something stupid. Like, oh, the Illuminati knew about this, that. And like, actually, they just got around and just like, ogle each other basically. Just do drugs and have sex, something dumb.
I will say an episode I also did like, but I haven't thought about in ages, is the one where they come across the Ghostfacers guys again.
Yeah.
And the one was so desperate to prove something that he unintentionally created a malevolent or malicious being.
Yes. The Topa.
That one was a good one because like you do hear ghost stories of people unintentionally doing that.
Oh, it's great.
It
makes me think of like a quote from Angel about reality bends to desire and stuff like that. And like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Madness says, plus the whole plot about Sam's girlfriend that was dragged in hell by a yellow-eyed demon was completely dropped. Yeah, I hate that we didn't. Why couldn't they brought her back for Sam instead of their parent and their mom
and dad?
That was weird too, but I was just like, they have to bring him back at some point, I guess, for Anna.
I realized that I dropped off like when they returned to dad, and I kind of haven't picked up since then, though I need to. I also, did they ever get their brother back? Their other brother?
Yes, actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah, never mind.
He comes back in season 15. They got him out of the cage. Adam's no longer on the bus.
Took long enough.
I know. I was like, we're getting to the final, hour, guys. Oh, okay, there he is. Good. I was bummed, but I guess I understood why, because I was shocked about Crowley, and then I was like, oh shit, Crowley's gone. Damn. And I was really hoping that, like, for some stupid reason, they'd bring him back and they could do, like, Mr. Crowley, dan, dan, dan. It's like, God damn it, wasted opportunity, but I respect them not doing it.
I will say the season with The Darkness was also a good season.
Oh, I love that. That's what it should have ended if they weren't going to keep going till 15.
Yeah, it should have ended there. Yeah, that was a good one. But
also,
go.
Confession time. I don't know why I look at Amara and think to myself, that is the cosmic equivalent, or the dark side cosmic equivalent to God, and I'm thinking to myself, she's pretty. Don't eat my soul, but you're so cute. Like, it's weird. I have the same thought process when I'm watching The Mandalorian, and I see Cara Dune just absolutely body a stormtrooper, and I'm just like, hi.
That was such a good season. I thought it ended on such a beautiful note.
And I was like, oh, Chuck's God. That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Wait, you didn't know that?
No, I didn't realize. I was like, that was weird. He just poofed out of existence. Okay, maybe he is God. But then he confirmed, was like, oh, he actually is. Awesome. But I just loved Metatron's reaction to it more than anything else.
Oh yeah, Actually, take it back. I think I was shocked too. I guess it's been so long of knowing he's God. It's hard to remember when you didn't know he was God.
Yeah,
I think there were theories though.
probably. I don't know if it was just theories and like Kripke was keeping a tight lip about it, but that's when it was confirmed anyway.
Oh, I think. Oh, okay. That's what it was. It was for the longest time they were saying like that was supposed to be like the illusion, the point, and then it ended up being anyway. But since we're talking about shows that maybe should have ended sooner,
Oh God.
I got a list of that.
Oh God.
Psych is one of them. I feel. Only because of how awkward the last season was.
Yeah,
it felt so rushed.
Even my wife, who's like, she's a total fan. She's a serious fan of Psych. She even was like, they lost something at the end there. Like the last couple seasons,
Yeah,
definitely feel like some of the magic was a little bit gone.
yeah. It's the last 2 seasons that just lost the magic. I wonder if part of that is because of the fact that the main couple broke up in real life.
Yeah, maybe so. I'm
But
excited they started bringing back stuff with the movies. To be honest, I was like, they can just keep doing this, and I'd be totally fine with it.
I really enjoyed the musical.
Oh God, that's freaking good stuff.
The musical actually felt like almost like a return, but yeah, it did almost feel like it lost its spark the last 2 seasons. Though I also loved the episode that was like an ode to Clue.
Yeah, that's right. Kurt Smith kept getting killed at the end.
Kurt Smith.
I just love that at the end of freaking. I guess I never realized how many Val Kilmer references they make throughout the show.
Yeah.
When Dobson is just Val Kilmer, and I'm like, oh, cool.
I also I think my favorite episodes were the Yin Yang killer episodes.
Yes.
That was like the best. That was like the best of the show, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, those are good.
I think my personal favorite is the second one they did, but
yeah, I think my personal if I have to choose a favorite episode that I can think of, it would probably be I can't remember what it's called, but like in season 3 or 4 when Sean is actually he's not really joking around, he's actually in danger. I'm like, oh shit, he's been shot.
That one was a good one too.
That was a great episode.
Especially when you see Gus trying to figure it out, and it's like Juliet and Lester are both getting annoyed at him, and Gus is trying to figure it out, and he's like, been shot, been. Oh my God, Sean's been shot. That was such a good opener for that episode.
That was excellent. That was it was tense and it kept you going. I loved it so much.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It just lost its spark at the end, and I think another one too that should have ended sooner, which it did have an ending originally. I don't know why they continued to past it. Scrubs.
Ugh. There you go.
They should have stopped with the perfect finale episode they had, but no, they had to keep going, and it was annoying.
Futurama had a weird broadcast history too. It kept getting canceled and renewed, but there were several points where they could have stopped. I really do like the final episode that they actually did.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever watch it?
No.
Well, so Farnsworth comes up with a device that it lets you go back in time about 30 seconds from when you establish your own little save point or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a whole point where Fry is abusing it, and he doesn't realize that by doing this, his watch is completely off. So he's all distraught because Leela's not going to meet him. He thinks Leela's basically abandoning him. So he decides to jump off a building. But he passes a clock on the way down. He looks at his own watch. He's like, oh shit, wait a minute, my watch is wrong. So by the time he realizes this, he goes ahead and tries to go back to the save point or whatever it was. I think he can only go back like 30 seconds into the past. But he realizes that he's beyond the point of no return. So when the 30 seconds, when he goes back to it, he's still falling.
Oh.
But eventually, with the help of Farnsworth and all that, they figure out how to stop it. But they also stop time for everyone except Leela and Fry.
Oh.
So they get to live. They're just living their life on Earth as it's frozen, and they grow old. They're happy together. But then Farnsworth comes through a portal and is like, "Hey, I can take you guys back if you want." And here's the thing: if I do that, it's probably going to restart everything, and you're gonna have to experience all of everything again, probably.
Yeah.
But the great thing about it is that Fry and Leela decide to go through the portal because they're like, "You want to go through it again?" And they're like, "Yeah." But every time they end that episode, they always follow it with the first episode of Futurama again.
Oh.
I'm like, that's so cool.
That is creative.
Like everything else is meh. But if you find that episode, it's a great watch. And Madness,
that's like the perfect loop. That's like the perfect loop.
You either end as Supernatural or you watch yourself become The Simpsons. That's got to be a quote. I don't know about you, but my throat's getting kind of sore, and I need to eat something anyway because I just it was literally get in the door, get this set up, talk. So I think we'll just wrap it up there.
Okay.
And there's some we'll talk about. There's other stuff you and I are definitely going to have to talk about in the future on here because before for Madness we didn't see. It was getting intense. I was like, oh God, Krystle's getting angry.
History, man.
Hey,
people need to learn it.
I know. I need to learn it. I need to do better. But all right. Family Guy's dying hard as well. Good. It needs to. All right. I'm going to end it there. And Madness, I guess since you're the only one watching right now, have a good night, dude. And anyone who might watch this in the future, have a good night or day or whatever as well.
Yes. Bye.
Bye. And